This is Abu Dhabi, home to some of the world's most striking construction projects. And there's another one being built right here. It might not look like much yet, but work is underway to build a record-breaking aquarium, one that'll blow all the others out of the water. The Shed Aquarium in Chicago holds about 19 million litres of water. Chimelong Ocean Kingdom in China holds 49 million and is currently the world's largest. But when SeaWorld Abu Dhabi completes, it'll likely contain a whopping 58 million litres of water. That's the same as 23.2 Olympic pools. Designing and building a tank this big poses an extreme engineering challenge. It has to withstand immense water pressure, let in the right amount of light for tens of thousands of species to survive, and immerse millions of visitors in an underwater world. This is how Abu Dhabi is building the world's largest aquarium. Every year, millions of people flock to Abu Dhabi for its white sandy beaches, unique architecture, and world-class resorts. In the middle of it all, there's Yas Island, where tourists' wildest dreams come true. It's a 25-kilometre strip of land packed with hotels, restaurants, theme parks, malls, a Formula One track, and pretty soon, SeaWorld Abu Dhabi. When its doors open in 2023, the marine life theme park will span 183,000 square metres. Inside, there'll be 5 floors of displays with more than 68,000 marine animals, including manta rays, sea turtles, reptiles, and amphibians. Oh my. Unlike other SeaWorlds, this one won't have any orcas. But it will have this, the endless vista, a 20-metre vertical window stretching up across several levels. Now, this isn't just any old design challenge. The team has to construct a structure that millions of people can pass through and create a livable habitat for thousands of different animals. So-called immersive aquarium design like this aims to replicate a natural environment, and usually includes elements like artificial coral or rocks and little access to sunlight to prevent algae growth. Now, the aquarium in Abu Dhabi is a lot bigger than most, so all these factors, from strength to sunlight, are going to be magnified. But before we get into all that, a quick word from today's sponsor, Masterworks. SeaWorld Abu Dhabi is part of a $3.2 billion investment in new construction at Yas Island. But the developer's spending spree stands in pretty stark contrast to the rest of the world, where investors are seeing some of their worst losses in history. $36 trillion in stocks and bonds were wiped out in less than a year. And Goldman Sachs has told investors that the classic stock-bond strategy may not be enough for the future. It's already down an average 34% this year, its worst performance in 100 years. Goldman Sachs' ideal allocation for stocks has shrunk from 60% to around 45%. But you can take that money you're no longer investing in stock and put it into real assets like fine art. Goldman says this can protect your purchasing power even in the face of rapidly climbing prices. In fact, the last time inflation was this high, art appreciated more than real estate and even stocks, according to the Masterworks All Art Index. Masterworks lets you invest in high-value contemporary art from legends like Picasso and Banksy for a fraction of the full price. When Masterworks resells a painting you're invested in, you get a share of the potential profits. Despite massive losses in other markets, Masterworks has sold 8 paintings, 5 this year alone. Those sales produced net returns to their investors of up to 39%. There's a waitlist to join Masterworks' 575,000 plus members, but you can skip it just by clicking the link in the description. Now, let's get back to the video. You're probably wondering how aquarium glass like this doesn't shatter from the sheer pressure of millions of litres of water. Well, normally big aquariums aren't actually made with glass. Instead, they're built with massive acrylic sheets called plexiglass. That's because acrylic is up to 17 times stronger than regular glass and half as dense. It's also clearer than glass and is easier to bend into shapes like curves, tubes and bubbles. Now, acrylic isn't just used in aquariums. You'll also find it at your local hockey rink, inside submarines and in aeroplane windows. SeaWorld Abu Dhabi wouldn't give us details on exactly how their tanks are being engineered, but the acrylic walls at the Georgia Aquarium, which has about half the capacity of the one in Abu Dhabi, are 2 feet thick. And of course, there's the small question of exactly how to get millions of litres of water into these tanks. We're not exactly sure how SeaWorld plans to do it in Abu Dhabi, but there are generally 2 ways this happens. If an aquarium is landlocked, like the Georgia Aquarium in Atlanta, then millions of litres of tap water are pumped into the building and treated to remove chemicals. In Georgia, the team added 680,000 kilo bags of instant salt to create a saltwater tank. But if an aquarium is by the coast, you've got the option of bringing water straight in from the sea.
Where are we? Are we close to open ocean?
Yes, I don't know.
California's Monterey Bay Aquarium, yes, that's the one slightly adapted in Finding Dory, is located on the coast. So they built 2 16-inch pipes that sit just above the sea floor of the Monterey Bay and pump up to 2,000 gallons per minute into the building. That deep sea water is full of nutrients like nitrate and phosphate that allow marine plants and animals to grow. But it also means lots of barnacles, algae and invertebrates can clog up the intake pipes. So every 6 weeks the team shoots large foam plugs through the pipes to clear out any growth. This isn't the first time that the UAE has kept new mega developments under wraps until they're complete. Over in Dubai, the world's deepest pool was quietly constructed under a building structure so that when it officially opened, it dwarfed the previous record. Just a year ago, SeaWorld's press releases said the new site would hold 25 million litres of water. Today, the developer says it's expected to hold 58 million litres. This will be the first new SeaWorld marine life park in more than 30 years. And if the UAE's past endeavours are anything to go by, it's going to be unlike anything we've seen before. This video was made possible by Masterworks. You can skip their queue at the link below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to immerse yourself in the definitive video channel for construction, make sure you're subscribed to the B1M.